Hello, welcome back to your mat here at Harmony Yoga. It's been a while since I've posted on YouTube. I've been teaching here in the Salt Lake area, and that has been very fulfilling and very rewarding to be with people in an outside environment, social distancing, and in the beautiful, fresh mountain air. But today I come to you because I know it's really important to stay connected with you virtually and to remind you how important it is to keep coming back to your mat. So sometimes it can be just a simple practice. So today, this won't be a long practice, but it will be a practice hopefully you can fit into your busy day. And I'm just reminded over and over again that if we don't stay with our practice every day, we start to lose connection with ourselves, and we start to lose connection with other people. So I invite you to come to this space and bring your awareness back to yourself by simply closing your eyes and minimizing the stimulation around you, taking your attention to your breath, and notice as we draw that breath in, we bring all of that energy back into ourselves. So that when we exhale, we come from this place we're a little less scattered, we're a little less disconnected, and with each breath, we become more connected with ourselves, so the energy that we send out is more of a balanced, healthy energy. Try that again, bringing your breath in, settling yourself on the exhale. And staying in that rhythm, we're going to begin to move on our mat, and after just one more deep breath in, and exhale out. Good. So from this seated position, inhale, let the arms float up on the breath. We begin to subtly move the body, so there's nothing really abrupt here, but actually letting the flow of the breath move the arms up. And exhale. Reach the right hand down, left arm reaches up to the sky, rooting both sitting bones down. I'm noticing now I'm sitting up on a bolster. Maybe you're up on a towel or a block, or if you're comfortable sitting on the floor, feel free to stay there. We're going over to the other side, pushing down through the sitting bones, lifting and opening the heart. Good, let's go one more time, each side. We start to open up the side body, not in a forced manner, but in a way we let the breath come in, creating that space. One more time over, left hand down, right arm up. Good, so we're opening up the spine side to side, and now let's take a gentle twist. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, get tall, exhale, turn. This is such a simple way to begin to warm up the spine. It's not necessary that we do it from a seated position. Go ahead and go to the other side. We can do this also from a standing position, a kneeling position. And sometimes we can even do these warm-ups for the spine in a downward facing dog. But today we're going to start from this seated position and grab the knees. Inhale, draw the heart forward. Inhale, look up to the sky. Even reach the chin up by creating a little underbite. As you exhale, round, pushing the spine back behind you. And let's go one more time. Up on the inhale. And exhale, round. Nice job. So that's a seated cat-cow. Now go ahead and come up onto your knees. Bring your hands forward toward me like you're in a sleepwalking position. Push your hands toward me and round your upper back. And then keep everything just like that. Keep your arms straight. Just begin to move the shoulders back toward the wall behind you, and the arm bones integrate into the shoulder socket. So do that again. We're going to inhale forward and exhale back. We're going to do one more. I'm going to show you from this side. So if you need to pause the video and replay so you can feel this in your body, pushing forward, rounding the upper back, and notice I'm just moving the arm bones back into the shoulder socket. Good, and then reach the arms up overhead. Take the right hand onto the left wrist and pull that arm over, being gentle here, but feeling that nice stretch. Come up and go over to the other side. Feeling now from that right knee all the way up through the right armpit and the right wrist, that all that right side gets stretched out. Good. Come back down. This time go ahead and come up onto your feet, and we'll continue with a little warm up here. In fact, I am getting a little warm, so I'm going to take my jacket off here and allow you to see a little opening here. Bring the palm face up, reaching the palm back behind you. Inhale, long side body, rotate the shoulder back. Create that space through the chest, the shoulder, and the arm. Opening up behind you here. Good, and come back. And we're going to do the same thing. Inhale, long side body, rotate the shoulder back, palm face up, reach that arm behind you. Now, if you're fortunate enough to be at a wall, let me show you real quick. What I want you to do is same thing, palm face up, pressing the side of your pinky into the wall, long side body, shoulder back, press into the wall, and begin to turn away from the wall. So you're going to go gradually here, gently, so you can really listen to the body, feel what's going on up here. Deep breath in, and exhale, release. If you don't have a wall, you're going to go back and do the same thing we did already. You can even pretend you're at the wall, right? I teach a lot of classes outside, as I said, and it's a little bit tricky because there's no wall there for people. But we can imitate the wall. As my yoga teacher, Marcia, had taught me from the very beginning, this is a great one to do in the shower with hot water coming on to your chest and your shoulder. So some days we don't have time to come to our mat, but we can do a little shower yoga. How about that? Go ahead and release. So just notice what might feel different for you up in your chest and shoulders. And come to the front of the mat and inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold over, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Maybe your hands come up your shins, or maybe your fingertips stay on the earth. Do that one more time. Inhale up, and exhale, release down. Inhale, step the right leg back to deep lunge and move your hips side to side here. Good, and take the back thigh back as you bend more into your left knee. Lift and separate the toes on your front foot and feel all four corners of that foot rooting down into the earth. The ball of the big toe, the inner heel, ball of the little toe, the outer heel. And then bring the left arm up to the sky, or you can stay right here if that's your posture you're working on today. Otherwise, press into your right fingertips and reach the left arm up to the sky. Yeah, take one more deep breath in here. Nice, bring the hand down. Step back to downward facing dog. So, hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hips width apart. Bend the knees deeply, look up at your fingertips. Press actively the fingertips into the earth. Hug your arms together, even rotate the inside of your elbow toward the front of your mat. Push the hands away, begin to lift the hips. Spin your inner thighs back. Stay with the breath here. There's a lot of action going on here. See if you can stay with it. Bend the knees again, look up at your hands. Double check. Your fingertips are facing forward. Move your arms back, move the hips back. Lift and separate the toes and press into the ball of the big toe and separate your little pinky toes out to the side. Ooh, there's a lot of action going on here. Bring your knees down to the earth, sit back into child's pose. Turn inward again. Reconnect now. All the energy that you just spent on those last couple poses, bring the energy back in through your child's pose. Yeah, this is such a nurturing practice for yourself that in turn makes you a better person for all the people around you. I've just been through a crisis in our lives, and I know that staying connected to myself was actually, I was able to actually be better for the people around me through that crisis, and we drew together in a more connected way, so it was a beautiful thing in the end. Never thought I'd be able to say that, right? Through that family sadness, but here we are today, better than we were before through the challenge. So come back up to your downward facing dog, reach the right leg up to the sky, and then swing the leg through and up between your hands. Even help the leg if you need to get it up here between your fingers. Move your hips side to side. Really creating opening there in the pelvis and then bending into the front leg so the knee is right over that right ankle. The left leg moves back. So notice this might be a really good angle for you to see the difference between sagging into the back leg, which is lacking integrity and muscle energy. We're going to push that thigh higher than you think you can, drawing the heel back, but staying bent in the front leg, and then staying right here or reaching the right arm up to the sky. You decide here. Staying with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hand. Step forward, forward fold. Now, if your fingertips easily come to the earth, that's great. Using a block is another great way to honor yourself and notice your limitations here, meeting yourself right where you're at. And through honoring the limitation, you may work through that limitation. And maybe not. Maybe that just becomes your forward fold. That's your normal. Maybe your legs are extra long. Mine are super short. So here I am, being able to touch the floor. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky. Inhale and rise. Close your eyes here, even bringing your hands in front of the heart and just noticing. So reconnecting with your breath. Notice the surrender after that effort. Feel the weight in your right or left foot, front or back. See if you can center your center of gravity between both feet in the front and back, so you're evenly weighted on all four corners of both feet. Your energy feels balanced. Inhale, bring your arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold forward, forward fold. Lifting up through the sitting bones. So notice you can do that even if your legs are bent. You still can be lifting up through the sitting bones. You decide. In fact, everybody, how about let's do this? Bend your knees. Maybe that's your forward fold. Begin to lift your hips a little higher. Go back and forth here with your breath. Inhale, bend. And exhale, begin to straighten. All right? It's not the end game. It's the action of trying to lift your hips a little higher. Good. And then step your left leg back to deep lunge. Back thigh goes back. Knee goes over the front ankle. Rise. Inhale, lift up to high lunge. So play around with that back foot. Bend into the front knee, come up onto the ball of the back foot, and then slowly drag that heel down and back. And do that again. Inhale, lift the heel. Exhale, drop the heel. It's not going to come all the way to the mat, but it's the action of moving it toward the earth. Good. Reach your hands down to the mat. Step back to top of a push-up position. Bend the elbows, tuck them in by your side. Lowering down to the belly. Untuck the toes, drag the hands back to a low cobra. Staying here, or you can move with the breath by exhaling down, reestablishing inner thighs lift, scoop the tailbone, shoulders up and away from the floor, lifting on the inhale. So you can go back and forth with the breath or stay here. Extra challenge would be to lift the legs, reach the fingertips back toward the heels. In either case, now we're going to come back to child's pose. Lift your hips up to down dog. And lift the left leg up to the sky. Moving your chest back towards your thigh and reach the foot up between the hands. Establish yourself here. Front knee over the front ankle, back thigh back, push down and rise up. Scissoring your legs together, hugging your arms together like they're hugging into an imaginary block. Inhale, lift the back heel, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Let's go one more. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Nice job. Bring the hands down. Let's come down to our knees here and come down onto the elbows. Interlacing your fingers but keeping the pinkies straight. Press your hands down into the earth and notice your elbows should be right under your shoulders, so not flared out to the side, but actually bring them in a little bit here. And then push down even through the little crook here of your wrist. So push down through the pinky, the side of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, and the elbow. And then step back to plank. Pushing down through the elbows, scoop your tailbone, look out ahead of your mat. And then start to walk your feet in to an elbow dog. You're going to decide how far that is. And I want you to just play around with going back and forth between plank, elbow plank, and elbow dog. This is your practice. So you decide when you're finished, when you've had enough. It's a lot of effort. When you're ready, come back to child's pose. Okay? So you're going to go back and forth here, and you can even change the way your hands are connected, just straightening the pinkies. So you can try that and see if there's a slight shift up into the shoulder. So plank is where your shoulders are over the elbows. And even in down dog, as you walk in, it's a little bit different than a regular dog. You may really feel that down the back of the legs. So playing around here, again, coming to child's pose when you're ready. Bringing your energy back down. Feel the rhythm of the heart slow. Feel the breath. Begin to elongate, finding that rhythm that feels confident and comfortable. Now curl the toes back under, come back to down dog. Slowly walk your feet back to your hands. Lift and separate your toes. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky. Inhale and rise. All right, let's do a little balance posture here. Let's stand on the right foot and pick up the left foot. Pick up the left ankle. And move the hips back, scoop the tailbone, draw your knees toward one another. So let me go to the side here so you can see. So hips go back, scoop the tailbone, knees together. The opposite hand can actually be resting on a chair, a wall, or just counterbalancing by lifting up to the sky or out in front. And then draw the ribs back and the heel toward the bum. So you're really integrating here, knitting together, heel toward the bum, knee releases toward the earth. I like to use the breath to help me remember. Inhale, heel toward the bottom, and exhale, releasing the knee toward the earth. Go around 2 more breaths. One more. Good, and release. All right, let's cross that left ankle over the right knee. Bring your hands together in front. Okay, it's like I'm on unsolid ground here, but I'm pretty sure I'm stable here today. All right, moving your hips back, bending the front leg, staying here or reaching the hands out toward me, and I'm reaching out toward you like we're supporting each other here. Yes, lift and separate the toes on the top leg, breathing into the hip, and lift up. Hands to the heart here, feet parallel and hip width apart. Notice the energy between the right and left side, the differential. Nice. Let's go to the other side. Standing on the left leg, pick up the right ankle, move the thighs back. Scoop the tailbone, draw the knees together, heel toward the bum. And again, your hand is going to be anywhere you want it to be. You can use support here. Inhale And exhale, remove or release the knee. Don't remove the knee, release the knee. Inhale, heel to the bum. Exhale, knee to the earth. Let's go one more. Good. Touching down or just cross the ankle over the knee. Move the hips back. Bend the standing leg. Staying here or reaching your hands out in front. And again, you can be at a wall here if you want that support. Lifting and separating the toes, and sometimes spreading your fingers can help you spread the toes on that top leg. Good, come up when you're ready. Okay, so one more balanced posture before we move to the earth. We've already set ourselves up, right? We've opened the shoulders, we've opened the hips, the hamstrings, and the quadriceps. So here we go. Balance on the left foot. This time we're going to open the palm and pick up the foot so you're grabbing the ball of the big toe. And then as that foot kicks back, you're hinging at the hips, reach forward with the left hand, kick the right foot back for dancer pose. Make beautiful art coming from the inside, moving out. And if you bobble, that's okay. Come out of the posture when you're ready, and we're gonna go to the other side, okay? You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. If you're like me and you bobbled a little bit and you got back in the posture, stay there. Enjoy it. It's such a beautiful opening. So now, balancing on the right foot, left hand reaches back, so the palm is open. That means the shoulder's open. Grabbing the ball of the big toe, kick the hand and the foot together, hinging at the hips, reaching the right arm forward. Can you still stay connected to the breath? Even though you might be clenching, you might be holding, see if you can let go of that by playing with the breath. Nice job. Coming out of the posture when you're ready. And then take your feet about hips width apart or wider. The wider is easier. And point the toes out. Slowly drop the hips down, walking the torso between the thighs, hands to the heart. Stretching the low back. And then coming to rest on your bottom. Bring the soles of your feet together, pressing into the earth behind you or grabbing your big toes, lifting and opening the heart here for butterfly. Good. Straightening out the right leg. The left foot is into the inseam of the right leg. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky, reaching the hands forward and grabbing the foot or the leg, or just keep reaching toward me. Inhale and rise. Switching to the other side. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, come forward, grabbing the foot or keep reaching out in front, moving the hip back and pushing through the ball of the big toe. Nice job. Inhale and rise. Let's come onto our back. Lowering down, press your press your elbows and walk the shoulders underneath you. Feet are hips width apart. Press your hands down to the earth, lifting the hips now for bridge pose. So you've got a couple choices here. You can stay here or you can come in and out of the posture. If you like that dynamic movement better, you can inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms, and exhale, lower. Or like we established, you can stay here. You can press against your heels. You can interlace your hands underneath you, pressing all of the arm down into the mat, scooping the tailbone, dropping the ribs, knitting the ribs in. Good, and release. Hug the knees into the chest. Take the knees out to the right. Turn and look over the left shoulder. Coming to the other side now, taking the knees to the left, turning and looking over the right shoulder. Good. coming onto your back now, coming into your Shavasana position. So legs are elongated, feet are relaxed, palms are facing up, shoulders are externally rotated, and the shoulders are underneath you, walking toward the spine. And then your body begins to release. And what a gift it is to learn how to release, even when you don't need to, but right, we're doing this practice for a reason, so that when the time comes and we need to let go in the body, we know what that feels like. We're very much at home with releasing and relaxing. This pose is also known as the pose of surrender. So letting your physical body take on this quality of surrender. And when our body does that, it automatically sends the message to the spirit, through the spirit to the mind, that it doesn't need to be in control. It doesn't need to have answers in this moment, right? It doesn't have to be over analyzing. It can just surrender. And for some of us, maybe that's a state that we're really never in, because we think we've got to be on our game all the time. And our body is just not meant for that, right? Our body is meant to work when it's time to work. It's meant to surrender when it's time to surrender. So now is that time to let your muscles and bones become heavy, to let them release into the floor beneath you, and to let your mind be busy with scanning the body rather than problem solving or expecting or thinking what's next. Just let it scan the body. What a beautiful way to connect the mind and the body and the spirit. So the mind is scanning from top to bottom and bottom back to top, and noticing the breath, as well as noticing if there's any place in you where you're gripping. Use the next couple of breaths to release that tension. As your breath softens, the outer body softens, and your mind softens as well. Shavasana is one of the most important and potent poses in yoga. If you've been practicing with me at all, you know this. It's a very important pose for you to be in, to learn to let go. It is your chance to rest deeply after the energy and the effort of your yoga practice today. Taking several calming breaths in silence so you can drop into this posture fully, letting your breath deepen. Allowing the breath to deepen, and begin making small movements with your fingers and your toes. Keeping the movements as gentle as possible, and eventually bringing your knees to your heart. Feel free to roll around here to free up the low back if there's tightness, and then roll onto your right side. Take a few breaths here on your right side, using your left hand to help you push up to a seated position. Bringing the hands to the heart and lowering the head to the heart, offering thanks for your practice. Take a deep inhale. Exhale completely. I hope this practice made you feel more connected to yourself today, so you can go out and be more connected with other people in a healthy and safe way. Thanks for being here today.